Walker Wednesdays, Angela Kang, the new showrunner, the writer of the first episode of the new season, the new QB at the helm. What is she going to do for a season's premiere?
I've never seen anything more bizarre than that.
Nah. Hit the button. Let's get started. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Andrew here, the horror host of Generations X, Y, and Z inside Davis Manor, where we find humor and horror. And if you are new to the channel, this is where I review TV shows and horror movies, mostly horror movies, other movies as well. Also talk about my time in the haunt industry and me working it, and then also the occasional Let's Play and also vlogging about my life. If this is something that you would enjoy seeing more of, please consider subscribing, and then also don't forget to like, share, and comment as well down below. Now, before I begin about this season premiere, let me give a big old shout out to the patrons of the channel, and if you would like to get exclusive content, if you would like to be rewarded with merchandise, or maybe even a vote in projects that are coming up in the future, like upcoming goals that we have are to make me the next slasher villain in a web series online, or how to start, quick start that is, a chainsaw for chainsaw scares in the haunt industry, or maybe even just a future series on how to become a scare actor. So make sure you go ahead, check out the link up above, also the link in the description, and also at the end of the video you can go ahead, see all the rewards, all the tiers, all the goals, all that other good stuff. Now, I am going to give a recap sprinkled in with my thoughts of this show, and then give my final thought at the end. So first we see Rick at Alexandria watching Michonne and Judith paint, and this is supposed to be a time jump on the show, but we do see Judith still paints one-eyed brother Carl. Then at the sanctuary we see Eugene, Rosita, and some saviors with Daryl. Daryl has assumed a command over at the sanctuary that was delegated by Rick, and Eugene tries to figure out how to make dead corn into gas. Oh, also, for some reason, Daryl is wearing a bandana on his face now whenever he's driving around on a motorcycle. It makes him look like he's part of the Antifa or something. I'm not quite sure. Maybe he wants to be a cowboy and he thinks that the bandana looks like that. At any rate, we then jump to Washington, D.C. to a museum. Maybe it's the Smithsonian. I'm not quite sure. Where Rick and the old gang with some new players try to get some old farming equipment. The only thing that is cool about this whole scenario is that Sadiq encounters a walker that has spiders in its eye sockets. And that's a pretty cool scene, but you have to wait like 2 commercial breaks to get there. Also, King Ezekiel was a piñata for a moment with walkers trying to bust him open and get all the goodies inside. Alas, nothing happens there. Also, through this time jump from the previous season, we see a few things. Gregory has suggested that there would be an election at Hilltop, and there was, and Maggie won. Father Gabriel is fully healed from the Walker virus, but then again, he's got a friend in high places, so you got that. Plus, the artist formerly known as Jadis is speaking in full sentences like nothing has happened, and apparently she was a teacher before. So Rick's fun field trip to the museum gets the crew some farming equipment, some seeds, and the emotional and heart-wrenching death of a character that we've only seen for 30 minutes. Seriously, some guy named Ken died by a horse's hindside kicking him while trying to save said horse from a walker attack.
Oh my God! They killed Kenny! You bastard!
This ends up eating a lot of the show's time, just revolving around Ken's death, affecting his parents, Earl and Tammy Rose, and Tammy ultimately blames Maggie for Ken's death, but we all know it was some horse's ass. Oh, that felt good getting that out of my system. Ken is given a funeral, and Gregory begins to work his scheming magic to take control of Hilltop once again by seeming sympathetic when we all know he's just pathetic. Rick arrives at the sanctuary, and some feel that Rick is their savior, but there's still graffiti saying, "We are still Negan, and saviors save us." And that is all the Negan that you're going to get in this episode, so if you really like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, sorry, that's it. He makes a no-show in this episode. You don't hear his voice. You get nothing. Zip. Bupkis. But Rick promises the sanctuary some farming tools and seeds for the sanctuary, and everyone cheers. Apparently nobody realizes that you can't grow food on factory grounds. The soil isn't good. I mean, I'm not even a farmer, and I know that. During the visit, Daryl tells Rick that he doesn't want to lead the sanctuary anymore, and if you ask me, it didn't look like he was leading much in the first place. Rick says that somebody else will have to lead, so that eventually goes to Carol, and at least she can bake cookies for the hungry citizens of the sanctuary. We then get shots of Gregory getting Ken's father, Earl, drunk. Rick and Michonne are going to bed, in which I have become jealous because getting some shut-eye was on my mind at the time because this is a snoozer of a season premiere. Maggie bumps into Gregory, who sets her up to be killed, but a drunken Earl can't get the job done, so she confronts Gregory alone after being saved by Enid and Alden. Well, thank goodness those two major players were around, and even after the altercation, Gregory still can't kill Maggie with his knife. Rick visits Hilltop and asks Maggie for more stuff for the sanctuary. She, in turn, wants things like labor for building the bridges that are destroyed over some of the rivers, and that's a fair request to me, but she says it in a real bitter way. She apparently sees everyone there as saviors, and she doesn't care for any of them. At the end of the show, the Hilltop residents gather around at night near a frame of a new building. I don't know what it's going to be, a courthouse maybe, and that is serving as a makeshift gallows. And even though Earl is the one that tried to kill Maggie, he isn't the one being hung. It's Gregory. Maggie then says that the punishment should fit the crime here at Hilltop. But mind you, conspiracy to murder is not punishable by death anywhere. In the U.S., in Australia, Canada, Europe, doesn't matter. Even attempted murder isn't punishable by death. But for Maggie, it's different. Some kids witness what's going on while Michonne screams for Maggie to stop. Maggie goes ahead and cues Daryl to release the horse, and suddenly Gregory, who's still saying his last words to the citizens, is being hung. So apparently the first thing that Daryl does from leaving the sanctuary, because he's the leader of the sanctuary, and everybody at Hilltop hates the sanctuary, but he leaves, and suddenly he becomes the killer of Gregory. And nobody, no citizen of Hilltop says anything, nothing, no due process, no, hey, we need to talk about this. No, just go ahead and string him up and slap the horse on the butt, let him ride off and get choked and killed. Nobody says anything? We do see some sad shots of Enid and Jesus, so hey, I'm glad they at least felt bad that they witnessed a murder. And then Maggie says that she made the decision, but she doesn't want to have to go through it again. Oh, well, we don't want to put you off, Maggie. And then that's the end of the show. Now, let me say a few things about this episode. And I'm trying to be cool about this whole thing. I don't want to, like, blow up all over this episode. So I'm going to quote my wife here about this episode. And that is, this would be a good episode 3. Not a season premiere. I mean, I like Gregory as a character. Yeah, he's a bad guy. He's an antagonist. I know his story. I know his story from the comic book. There's nothing really shocking here at all. And I'm going to say Xander Berkeley played the character well. Probably better than what I actually thought the character was going to be played. But when your season premiere, okay, focuses on Gregory using the death of a character that we've had all but 30 minutes to emotionally bond to, which he wasn't there for the entire 30 minutes of screen time. And if he was in other episodes, he wasn't memorable. I don't remember the character. But point being, if Gregory, using Ken's death to go and usurp Maggie's leadership in some way, you know, have some type of coup, all right, and her killing him in self-preservation by using Daryl as a lapdog, and you got one crappy season premiere. And that's what happened. You got one crappy season premiere. As an episode, it was good. Good direction. Nicotero does a good job as the director. The acting was good, except for Lauren Cohen. I mean, she needs to get off the show. Her character sucks now. I mean, no writer on the planet can make Maggie Green a likable character anymore. And that's not a diss to the actor. She does a good job. It's just that her character is pointless and needs to go. And I'm happy for the actor that she's got other things to do. Good on you. Get to stepping. I mean, this is supposed to be a season premiere. There's the big stuff that happens. Something big always happens at the season premiere or the season finale, except for season 9. Nothing big happened there. I mean, where's the Commonwealth? What happened? We got to see a weather vane with the word Commonwealth on it. That was all the Commonwealth we got. Did we see anything about the helicopter? No. I mean, where are the answers to some of the questions that we had at the end of the previous season? I mean, this was supposed to be a time jump, okay? But things are still moving at a slow crawl. Can you imagine if there wasn't a time jump? Oh, we'd have 3 seasons of watching people grow corn. How depressing. This was a real padded episode. The kind that we all complain about in previous seasons. But this was a season premiere, as I have said many times. I can guarantee you that The Walking Dead has just lost more fans after that crap premiere. And I am sure the numbers were good. People watched. I know that. This is supposed to be Andy Lincoln's last hurrah as Rick Grimes. People should tune in, right? Well, we'll just see when the ratings for episode 2 and 3 come in. I'm going to tell you right now, they are going to tank. They're going to be terrible. This was a bad episode. I know how bad this episode was by this. In what, 7 years that The Talking Dead has been on, this is the first time that I didn't want to watch it. I didn't care to hear anything about behind the scenes of that episode. I didn't care. I didn't want to see the kumbaya of everybody hugging each other and saying how great it is to work with each other and, oh, how they're one big family and then people are leaving and, oh, we're so sad and all that other stuff. I didn't want to hear any of that. I didn't want to hear anything. I was done. I was done with the episode. My wife was like, do you want to watch? No. No, you watch it. You can tell me if there's a highlight. I don't want to know. I just had no care whatsoever. Bad season premiere. Terrible. Padded. It would have been okay mid-season. I would have been like, okay, a little character development. They had to answer a couple questions, blah, blah, blah. Season premiere? Terrible. I think I might just hang around for the season long enough to see Maggie die. The character, to me, died back when Glenn died. There has just been no character whatsoever. She is a completely different person and not sympathetic. I'm not rooting for her. I don't care about the character anymore. I would just like to see Maggie in Walker makeup and then put down. And if you haven't hit that red subscribe button yet by now, go ahead and do it. Don't miss out on all the awesome content that I am putting up here. And become part of the notification squad by clicking that bell icon. That way you get notified the moment that I upload. And I will see you in the next video.